I'm just kidding and he's just kidding is what we do. We're just kidding and they're just kidding, you kid a little bit too. When we feel like singing, we invite some friends. We'll have some fun and laugh a lot. Hope it never. I'm just kidding and he's just kidding is what we do. We're just kidding and they're just kidding, you kid a little bit too.
Hey everybody, welcome to, this is our first video show. I am John Wood.
And I'm Dan Crow.
Roger Day is our guest today, Dan.
Just kidding, that's our show.
Right, just kidding. We haven't done a show in a long time, so we're a little rusty.
This is our first video show. We've always done audios. You know, we did about 16 different audio podcasts. And
yeah.
And now you see us. Now you know why we did audio shows.
Exactly.
You picked the best looking guy in kids music for your first one.
Yeah.
You know what? You're gonna save us, Roger. And God, it was so great to have you on the show. And if only I could remember the name of his new album. Dan, do you have any idea what it is?
No, I don't. Maybe he can tell us.
Yeah. Oh, it's written all over your back.
I can't remember. What is it? Oh, that's called something.
How many albums have you done to date?
Oh gosh, I think this is that's actually a good question. I think this is my 7th or 8th. I did a couple of greatest hits CDs, so I don't know how you count those in the official Wikipedia account. But so yeah, I've been doing this. Really started doing it full time around the late '90s. '98 was when my first album came out, gosh, I know y'all feel the same way, but I love it as much now as when I started. I wish I'd written more songs when I first started, because it was kind of a freshness and an innocence to it, and I just sort of did what popped into my head. And now I got backdrops and
I know you have to 18-wheeler, 4 18-wheeler trucks to haul all your stuff around for shows.
Or one 2004 gold Honda Pilot, one of the other.
That little Jeep that's on your website looks pretty cool too. The one
the Jeep is a little hard to get a PA system in, though.
I know, and it's exposed too. You don't want to, when you're out on the road.
Dan, what is your car, Dan? Where you get everything is like gets in the trunk of this car. It's unbelievable. It's like you expect clowns to come out.
We've done a lot of shows together, so we were always packing stuff in, and that first Lucinda's Honda and then my Mazda. Anyway, but I bet though, Roger, I know that back when you started out, because you're kids, you have 3 kids?
I have 3 children, yeah.
So you had, when they were younger, that's when you started. You were probably getting some good inspiration from them, right?
Oh yeah, that's we had my oldest son is going to be 28 in a couple of weeks, which is really hard to believe. Wow. And now my youngest son is in a senior year of college. So it's all these things that you look forward to and plan for, and then they're here. But one of the neat things, and I've felt this for years, is that every time I perform for an audience, I am reliving that pure joy, that innocence when you're first a parent, and you're kind of looking at the world through these beautiful kids' eyes, and everything's new and everything's fresh, and all of a sudden you can get an hour entertainment out of roly-poly bugs, which we have in the South. I don't know if you say that in California, New Mexico, but or lightning bugs. We definitely say lightning bugs, fireflies. All of a sudden you remember when you were a kid and how magical those things were and how amazing those things were. So yeah, there's no question that when my kids were first born, I was, writing these songs. And like I say, I wish I had just written. And that's what I tell younger songwriters. I actually said on the podcast, you guys appreciate it. I said on the podcast the other night, I said, my advice for young people is, I didn't say young people. I just veered into the Bing Crosby lane somewhere.
You veered to the off-ramp of senility. Where to go?
The young people these days. But I say, just write and write and write. So I get to experience that feeling and remember that feeling so it's kind of a little bit of a head kind of
yeah.
Just because I'm remembering what it was like when my kids were young, and now they're grown-ups. Well, they're in their 20s. That may be debatable, but
right.
Yeah, they've got,
right. They're almost leaving home. Wow. The girls seem to leave earlier than the guys do. It's when you have like multiple children. They say, go, bye, see ya.
Get out of here.
It's been great.
I do love though.
You can listen to my CDs, and I start off. I'm singing about mosquito burritos. I'm singing about, and you point your finger to your nose, jump up and turn around, and then 10 years later, when they're in middle school, I'm writing about the parts of the brain and things like that, and the marsh mud, which I did about the saltwater coast and Georgia, and now Invincible, which I call my subversive superhero project, because it's actually all about how you've got all the powers you need already. You don't really have to have any special power.
Love is a superpower,
exactly. Yeah.
That's a beautiful song.
Oh, thank you. By
the way, you're the only person in the history of songwriting that has rhymed, you know what I'm going to say, aren't you? That has rhymed Moxie with broccoli.
Yeah,
now,
John and I were talking about this.
He knew exactly what I was talking about. We just couldn't find it on here. I had to find it. I'm going, and it works. That's
like orange and orange.
I have to give credit to my co-writer, Josh Castle. That actually was his line in the song.
Oh, you made it work.
And it just, now I did rhyme, the word carcass in the Vulture Vomit song. So I did come up with that. So
carcass, by the way, is a great, not an overused word in children's music, but I think it should definitely be used more often, along with maybe vulture or turkey buzzard, something like that. No, I think this is, by the way, I was going to say, on a serious note, I think this is some of your best songwriting.
Oh, thank you.
And you're talking about the progression of stuff. You're going to be a mess when you have grandchildren. You're going to bump into yourself.
Well, thank you. It's this project was it actually started it a while back. Because there's been kind of just a hesitation about making CDs, and what the kind of the paradigm has shifted definitely for those of us who've been doing this for a while, and so you're not sure. I'm definitely just kind of old school Nashville. I love to get everybody in the room, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. That's too fast. That's too slow. Let's do this there. Great, boom. We're running, and 15 minutes later you got a song. Which is the way records were always made in Nashville and LA, and you just got really great musicians and you just did it. But it turns out you have to pay the musicians when they're.
What's that all about?
Boy, overrated.
Well, your production quality is immaculate, and your band, the guys are great. The Mosquito Burrito Band, right?
Mosquito Burrito Brothers.
Yeah, brothers.
You will love this. Pete Young, he's played drums on just about everything that I've done. Pete is the actual drummer for the Flying Burrito Brothers.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh my gosh!
Only in Nashville would that kind of
Absolutely.
When I first started doing live shows with a band, which I've done a few, I mainly do solo. I called the band the Flying Mosquito Burrito Brothers, and there were exactly 3.5 people that thought that was funny.
And 2 of them were in the band.
Well, living in Nashville, and then when you recorded, I think it was Rock and Roll Rodeo, you had Nancy, one of my favorite artists, Nancy Griffith, came and did a song with you on there, right? And the Indigo Girls too, right?
Yeah, the Nancy Griffith connection was through a lot of the people that play with me, and I've worked a lot with Ron De La Vega, who's a bass player and cellist, and you hear him throughout all of my CDs. He was in Nancy's band, and he was the one that got her to come down one night. We recorded that at Brad Hartman's house. I don't know if you ever run across Brad, but he recorded all of Emmylou Harris's great stuff and the Willie Nelson stuff. You know, in fact, this was even before Pro Tools really took off, and so I'm a singer, so you know, I think 12 takes might not be enough, you know. Right. And then he was talking about how when Brian Ahern was working with Emmylou Harris, they would get these takes, and he would literally slice it on the tape.
Oh yeah,
amazing chops that he had. And then I was joking. I said, so did you do that with Willie Nelson too? And he's like, no, he got it first take every time.
Oh.
I was thinking back years ago, buddy that lives in Nashville, Dennis Scott. You know Dennis?
Yeah, I know Dennis. He didn't live too far from me.
That's I figured he didn't. You're in Franklin, right? Yeah.
Anyway, we go get coffee occasionally, and
he's got a nice studio too, you know, in his house.
He does, a very nice studio.
I was recording with him years ago, and this was a long time ago, Roger, early '90s, and digital was just starting to come in. We did an album together, and it was the first digital mix I've ever been part of, and I was like, wow, this is, because you're talking about cutting tape and all that stuff, you know, that was.
And then all of a sudden you had the ADAT, and Brad.
Oh right.
Brad was mixing everything on a Commodore computer, you know. So this was this was pre-kids music when I was doing college coffee house.
Right, I know you did.
National Association of Campus Activities. Yeah. So I did a couple of CDs there, and that was when it first became possible, really, and affordable to have a pretty nice studio in your basement. If if you knew what you were doing, and Brad definitely knew what he was doing. But the Commodore computer, he could tell like it was coming down that the Commodore wasn't really going to stay in business, you know, and what was he going to do? So, but it really kind of changed the game for independent musicians, where you could go in and do things that, up till then you would have had to have had just massive amounts of gear and, all kinds of people that knew how to work it. And then you get someone like Dennis who, really knows his way around a mixing board and understands music. And all of a sudden you give him the tools where he can make it sound really good. So I think I've been lucky to have been part of that era where you could be an independent artist and make affordable CDs.
Yeah.
How about you want to play a song for us?
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Pick your nose. Pick a song. We're looking.
Pick on us.
If you happen to hear me make a superhero sound, feel free to make the best superhero spoof.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear Roger Day and a song from his new album, Invincible, called Superhero. Take it away.
John and Dan, if we're going to do this song right, first, I have to put on my superhero sunglasses.
Beautiful.
And then I am going to make some superhero sounds. And when I make a superhero sound, you have to make a superhero move like this. Kapow! Got it? You got it? Are you ready? Kabam! Kaboom! Zap! When the bad guys got you cornered and it looks like there's no escape, what are we gonna do? No need to wait for superheroes anymore, 'cause we can save the day through the turning of the page. Now this part's real simple. You have to break through Earth's gravity and save the universe. I'm invincible, it's undeniable. I got a power that's unbeatable. My imagination can knock down walls. Nothing's impossible, I'm unstoppable. Every puzzle is solvable. I can do anything at all. You have to hold two hands like this, like you're holding a giant book, and we're gonna say, through the pages of a book. All together, through the pages of a book. One more time, through the pages of a book. Superhero move time. Kapow! Zoink! I can blast off in a jetpack. I can take one peeky, and with my super strength, lift above my head a monstrous monster truck. Be a secret agent picked by the president. I can crack the code. I can vanquish any foe. It's time to break through Earth's gravity and save the universe. I'm invincible, it's undeniable. I got a power that's unbeatable. My imagination can knock down walls. Nothing's impossible, I'm unstoppable. Every puzzle is solvable. I can do anything at all. Through the pages of a book. Now I want everyone, wherever you are, to read like you are a superhero. Wait till I say go. Open up a book. And I want you to read 10,000 books in 10 seconds. Wait till I say go. Ready, set, go! I start at the beginning faster, and then I read to the middle faster. I can't stop till I reach the end. So if you're hanging off the cliff face with two hands, no, with one hand, no, with one finger, no, with one fingernail. And you look up, and the evil genius is looking down. Everyone laugh like you are an evil genius. Take a tip from me. You will be flying free. 'Cause it's a bird. No, it's a plane. No, it's the power of your brain. Everybody, break through Earth's gravity. Let's save the universe. I'm invincible, it's undeniable. I got a power that's unbeatable. My imagination can knock down walls. Nothing's impossible, I'm unstoppable. Every puzzle is solvable. I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything at all. Through the pages of a book. You guys are awesome.
Oh, nice, man. That's great.
I love that. You know,
Great.
Go ahead, John.
No, I was just saying it sounded just like the album, Dan.
That was the album, the version on the album, the recording of it's fantastic. That there's these magical guitar licks that are in certain songs, like, well, Tom Petty used them a lot but you got one really unique one that you use in that song that I really like a lot. Did you do that little lead thing, Phil, yourself? You know what I'm talking about?
Is it the Climb?
Yeah.
There's kind of a joke amongst the band that as the album goes on, there is less and less of Roger's real guitar.
We've been there.
And more of Chaz Williams' guitar. Chaz has played. He also played in Nancy's band. He's played with Winona Judd. He's played. He does. He got a really cool app for the national number system that he's invented. Y'all would love Chaz. He's a fantastic guitar player, and I record at his house, and so he just gets these great ideas. And so every time I leave, the next time he sends me a track, he's done even more cool stuff. And so I'm only half joking when I say, I'm like, Chaz, why don't you just play my part?
No, you know what? It's also, I noticed, is he doesn't overplay.
Yeah.
And I'm just going, dang, when is this guy going to open up here, man? I'm just ready for his. And then, of course, at the end of the song, he has that great solo he does.
Yeah.
And so, but I was just waiting for the guy to open up. It's really cool. That's great.
For encouraging literacy, and reading. That's a great way.
Well, that was where I do a lot of summer reading programs at libraries, and I don't always. I know some artists and some of my actor friends will, they'll create a whole program. They'll think a year out and do a whole program based on the reading theme. And I'm afraid my attention span is not that long.
Yeah, right.
I can't think that far ahead. And so it was like the week before my first show, and I had a writing session set up with my friend Josh Castle, who's just an incredibly talented songwriter. He's the Moxie Broccoli guy. And so we were just going to write. I don't do a lot of co-writing, which is sort of it's the coin of the realm in Nashville. Everybody gets together and co-writes, and just never done a lot of it. So part of it was an exercise on my end, kind of a creative challenge on my end. It's like, I want to see what happens when I get together with someone and do some writing. And so that song came about. We were sitting on our back porch, or on my back porch. And so I said, what do you got? That's what you do. You say, what do you got? I don't know, what do you got? I got this idea. I got that idea. And you throw this out and you throw that out. That goes on for 30 minutes until you finally hit on an idea. And so I finally said to Josh, summer reading theme is, and I can't remember what it was. It was something like read like a superhero or something.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
And I said, man, we should have like a superhero theme song. And he just, it's the classic co-writing kind of thing. For anybody who's listening, who's learning how to write songs, it's just, Josh just goes, and he starts going. That kind of superhero, secret agent-y kind of thing.
Secret agent, man.
That's right. And the first thing that came out of my head, and that's where the best ideas come from. They're just the ones that if I just get out of my way and just let, whatever part of my brain works that way take over. And he was doing that, and I just sang out, I'm invincible, it's undeniable.
And you're off and running.
Yeah, invincible. That's going to be a really easy word to rhyme. That's what I was thinking.
Well, not if you use broccoli. I'm working on a song, which I'll probably have to edit this out, but I'm working on a song. It's kind of a remake. I'm working on it with the First Lady. It's called I Never Promised You a Rose Garden. So
I beg your pardon, John.
I'm sorry. That's just the way it goes sometimes. Cheers.
I have to admit, for the hour before we were getting set up, I was listening to your old podcast.
Were you? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Great. That's great.
The what you did with Reggie was great, and
that was so. She's such a great friend, longtime friend, and such an important part of the business.
Yeah.
And Beth, of course, we were working. So.
I was on a Grammy podcast with her this morning and other people, and your album came up in the mix as down through it. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, she was pretty tired.
You're not supposed to identify the people on that panel, remember?
That's right. Her name was Wedgie Schmelland.
Wedgie Schmelland, that's it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Wedgie is a good friend of mine, Wedgie Schmelland.
Well, I've had this gig for 5 or 6 years down in Clearwater, Florida. And so Reggie and I have gotten to see each other fairly regularly.
That's great.
Line up. It's still a little bit of a way from where she lives, but if she's got time, we'll have lunch or dinner. So it's been great. And John, that was all from when we did a podcast early on when I was playing in Charlotte, and you and I were on a panel for that. And, and then loved getting together with you and eating pancakes at the
the pantry.
Yeah, at the pantry in downtown Los Angeles. And
now your son was with you then, right? Was your son out here too? Right?
Yes, my son Thomas. He's about to turn 28. Yeah.
And he plays. He's a player, right?
He is. He was a music composition major in college, and just can do some crazy stuff. I co-wrote a song with him on this album. And if I might do a little humble brag here, little dad brag here.
Mm-hmm.
He's just beginning his 4th year of medical school at Vanderbilt University here in Nashville, and he is looking forward to a career in pediatrics, which and for a guy who did kids music, and my wife is a preschool teacher, works with she's a speech and language pathologist and works with our special needs kids. In Williamson County, which is Franklin, south of Nashville. And boy, if you don't think that makes our heart super big, it's just it's amazing. So
my son is getting out of 4 years in Lompoc State Penitentiary, where he learned how to make these soap dishes, and still can't get it where the soap doesn't fall through. No, I read that.
We have one here. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So there's pride everywhere.
Yeah.
Boy, that's for sure. I also want to mention, Roger, thank you for being part of our STEAM 16 package when you did the Brain Train. That was a great song, and it was a fun project. And, sort of. We try to keep that alive as much as possible.
Oh yeah, that was a huge honor to be a part of it. And Dan, I have to admit, I got a little nervous that you were going to ask me to sing the Brain Train song.
Oh, no, don't worry. I know you're
going to have to learn corpus callosum. Like, what was that again?
Yeah. Anyway,
I did that song. One of the things that I love about the genre of children's music is there are no parameters.
I know.
You can go anywhere.
Exactly.
You can do anything in a kid's song, and if you kind of smile and make it fun and have some emotions with it, the next thing you know, you're singing about the corpus callosum, and the kids are like, yeah, whoa, yeah. So on that whole project that I did about 10 years ago on the brain, I co-wrote that song with a friend of mine who's a neuropathologist, and I was
wow.
We gotta write a song about the brain. And so we had this idea of what goes through Ringo Starr's brain right before he plays the note. And evidently there's a lot that goes on in Ringo Starr's and he knew.
That's great. Ringo's Brain. There's a title for a song right there.
Definitely. Let's go let's do it together, you guys. Let's write it.
I know, we should do it.
Ringo's Brain.
Right. Well, Randy, who writes with Dave Canoin.
Yeah. Randy,
they just have an ongoing thing. I think they get together at least once a week or pretty regularly and just do the same process that you just went through.
Yeah.
Tossing ideas around.
I'm pretty sure Dave writes about 84 songs a day.
I know.
As best I can figure. And he'll just pull a piece of paper out of his pocket and he'll start writing a new song. So I got to write 84 songs today.
Yeah. Squirrels.
Anybody that worked on those shows, like the Bear House and all those Disney shows too, you get used to cranking those things out.
Yeah, it's great. Well, it's been fun when with that my friend Josh that I wrote that song Invincible with, and we also wrote the Everyday I'm No Ordinary Superhero. We did that song together.
That's a great song
as well. And then I co-wrote a song with my son, which was a lot of fun. Except he wanted to put all these fancy chords in, because he's a music composition major, and I'm like, these 3 chords, son, just 3. Other than that, your dad, his head will explode.
I wore the robot T-shirt in your honor today because you have a robot song on your album.
That's great.
The whole point of that is, at least for now, Dan, we're still in charge as long as there's an on-off switch on the AI.
I appreciated that. Exactly. Excellent point.
Well, you got another song for us? Since we're, what do you like? Dan, do you have any requests?
Rain.
Do we do the robot one?
Yeah, do the robot.
Can you do the robot one? That'd be great. Yeah. Let's cut off. We're gonna have to mute ourselves here.
Okay.
That seemed to work. So
okay. Robots do the dirty work that humans won't. Astronauts need oxygen, but robots don't. That's a clear advantage in outer space when you find yourself surrounded by an alien race. If you got a mind to save the universe, I highly recommend you get a robot first. If you're on a spaceship and you're feeling trapped, a robot can project you a 3D map and show you an escape plan that will never fail, so you can slip out undetected from an alien jail. If you got a mind to save the universe, I highly recommend you get a robot first, because robots are cool, robots are smart, and if they get on your nerves, you can press restart. It's time for the robot dance. It's time for John and Dan to do the kids' music robot dance. We're on Zoom, do the robot dance. Oh, you know how to do it. Do the robot dance. Rock it, planet rocket. The robots are cool. The robots are smart. And if they get on your nerves, you can press restart. You find yourself in the middle of the 3rd verse, which you haven't done very often, and then you have to remember it on camera in the red. Here we go. That's where I am. If you find yourself in the middle of a situation and you need the right word in a tricky situation, they know every single language in the galaxy, from COBOL, BASIC, or Javanese. If you got a mind to save the universe, I highly recommend you get a robot first, because robots are cool, robots are smart, and if they get on your nerves, restart. Robots do the dirty work that humans won't. Astronauts need oxygen, but robots don't.
Oh gosh, love it.
Boy, Dan, you got to work out. Dan, you see Dan Crow, you got to work out there.
My robot got her to work out.
Nice. Great song. How's how long has the album been out? Beginning of the month? Or?
Officially came out August the 14th, and we've came out August 14th, and so it's available on Spotify and Amazon and Bandcamp, and we've gotten one video out. We're about to come out with a new video about the jetpack, which we just finished up this week, and we're working on a video for a song I wrote with a great children's author named Susan Birdie, who's just done some amazing work, and we got to
she's an author.
What's that?
She's a writer, isn't she?
She's a writer, yeah. And so we wrote a song called Big Picture, and which was really awesome about a citizen scientist who sees the big picture and breaks it down and solves the problem. And it was I had this whole album took longer than it needed to, because it turns out that it's not in the rock and roll manual, but it turns out there's this thing called real life that gets in the way of being a rock star.
I hate that.
Being a performing artist.
Yeah, and so just kind of all kidding aside, just had some. My dad passed away a year ago in April, and so it was a tough thing for me personally. So everything was on hold for a while. And the good news, though, is when we came back to it, I thought, we need to flesh out the album a little bit. And so I had written this song with Susan, and it had actually been recorded by a great artist named Casey Bowles. And so there's already a recorded version of it. So I said, boy, it would be really, really fun to do that song. So I called Susan, and she said, yeah, let's do it. So it's been fun to do the co-writing, because it's a different creative challenge when you're used to writing by yourself all the time, to come up with ideas. So,
the video, by the way, I love the look of it. The definition of Nashville, is behind you, right? That is just really defined, high definition, really clean images, and it just brings out all the special effects that you incorporate.
Well, he does everything, but Josh Castle, that co-wrote the Invincible song, he has a video degree from Belmont University, and in addition to doing all of the harmonies, and he really is like the second coming of Brian Wilson. I mean, just like he hears harmonies on top of harmonies on top of harmonies, and after a while we'd have to say, all right, Josh, we got enough harmonies. But he filmed it, he and his brother Chad, the neat thing is I've watched these guys grow up. Chad was my youngest son's best friend. We did Boy Scouts together, climbed up Philmont in New Mexico. And Chad is just a terrifically talented videographer. And so he got the green screen out. He had the drone. And it was just so much fun to have these very creative young people, telling me do this, do that, walk into the elevator, put on these sunglasses. I'm like, okay. And I had total trust that whatever ideas they came up with were going to work out great. And some of it, I had a sense of what it was going to look like, but a lot of it, was just their own creativity and they just had fun with it, because they know all superhero cliches and they just had fun with it. Like the part that where Bigfoot and being chased by Bigfoot is like a Scooby-Doo thing. I had no idea. They just said, turn around and do this. I was like, okay. And it turned out to be the funniest part of the whole thing is, Bigfoot chasing around. And I was worried. I run everything by my wife because she does work with with preschool kids. And I said, you know, we're not crossing the line here. We're not going to scare them with a scary monster. And she's like, no, it's going to be fine. So
I want them to think you can actually fly.
yeah, I can fly.
So Roger first time went in and talked to his wife, and he said, "Hey, honey," she goes, "What?" He goes, "The kids aren't going to be scared." Ah, whatever. Just geez.
Preschoolers are more mature nowadays than they used to be.
Nashville Housewives is on. Come on. Your wife will kill me.
I'm going to be home from work here in just a minute. So
Okay. Oh, I'm in trouble. Man, I'll tell you. What's your 5-year plan, Roger? since we're all on borrowed time here, trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah,
it really is taking some interesting turns. So yeah.
You know, one of the twists and turns, like I say, this whole album, starting it so long ago and then having it develop over time. Everything was backwards with this because I got the backdrop well before I had the CD. I had like the cover art a year before I had the CD. I mean, it's completely backwards of the way I normally do things. And I've already been performing this, particularly at schools, because I talk about critical thinking and reading and literacy. And so the superhero songs were sort of mixed into the critical thinking, reading, like straight up encouraging reading songs. So in June, I was driving Chaz Williams crazy, because we had 16 songs that we're trying to mix and get ready. And on this project, I've been working with Beth Blintz-Klukas, who's a great publicist that I know y'all know, and she just very, she's always positive, and she just kind of gently suggested that maybe 16 songs is a lot for a kid's album. And it turned out, I thought, wow, actually this is great. So we narrowed it down to 10 songs, which means I've got 6 recorded, mixed, mastered songs all about reading that I can put out anytime I want. So we've got that. That'll be a little bit of a companion piece with this. And then after that, who knows? We'll just have to see.
Roger said, Beth, sweetheart, you do the marketing. I'll write the songs, okay?
Okay, so now you got it done. So it's this marketing it is tell everybody where they can get it, how they can do it. I know you said the streaming. Best thing is go to rogerday.com, and it's got all the links to all my social media. So take you to Facebook and Instagram and those kinds of things. You can purchase the CD on rogerday.com. You can get a hard copy of the CD.
You can get a hard copy of the CD. If I were really prepared, I'd have one right here to show you.
Well, we don't know what the cover looks like, so there it is.
Hey, look, 3D.
You can get it on. You can stream it on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music. Bandcamp's good. It's on SoundCloud. So all the streaming services. But if you want a hard copy, we've got that as well. I'm doing more and more on social media, kind of learning how that goes. In fact, this week has been all about everyday heroes. So I've interviewed my kid's bus driver. It's actually been really, if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's been really heartwarming because she has driven the school bus in our neighborhood for, my oldest son's about to be 28, and he was driving when he was in kindergarten, and just the sweetest, gentlest lady. And like she really would, she'd check the mirrors and make sure one of the day kids wasn't running out with one shoe off, backpack. And she knows every kid's name on her school bus, and she greets them every morning. I mean, it's like, it's just too good to be true. And when I posted that about what she's done, and I asked him, what do you love about what you do? What's the challenge about what you do? And what color would your superhero cape be? And there are people that just their kids have long since graduated from that elementary school who said, "Oh, Miss Thompson's the best."
Great.
I name her in my Everyday Hero song. It's been fun to do this. I've been learning how to do more social media, and everybody, like all of us, we've been kind of forced into being tech people where we're not necessarily tech people.
Right.
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I, for the longest time, fought having any visuals because for me, it was all about music. It was all about music. I didn't need anything else to help me out, And so I talked to my theater friends, and they'd say, "Oh, you need to make the space your own. You need to have it. You need to define the space." And I'm like, "No, I just need a guitar and a good song, and that's what it is." And the first time I got a backdrop, and I set it up, and everybody was like, "Wow, Roger, have you been taking voice lessons? Art lessons? You're amazing. You sound so much better than you used to."
That's great.
Okay, all right. It takes me a while, but eventually.
It's like when I get a haircut, people go, "Wow, have you lost weight?"
Oddly, they didn't say that about me after the back.
I don't know. I don't get that. I thought, wow, Roger could play Lex Luthor in the next album. Hey, well, we wanted to thank you for kicking off our inaugural video interview, and it's been tremendous talking to you. We look forward to more of Roger Day. Right on, Dan?
Yes, indeed. We'll stay in touch with you, Roger. We'll keep.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, guys, and I'm big fan of both of y'all's, and it's been a great honor having a chance to talk with you, and y'all made it possible for me to be able to do what I've been able to do, and been able to raise a family doing this. It's been dream come true for me. Really has. So thank you for what you've done too.
You've been.
The wife's home. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
13 is in. We copy you down, Eagle. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Me and my jetpack, we're ready to go. Me and my jetpack, the stars of the show. Above the clouds, above the ground. Mission control, let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off into the sky. Me and my jetpack. Blast off into the sky. Me and my jetpack. Me and my jetpack. I made it with my
just kidding and he's just kidding is what we do. We're just kidding and they're just kidding, you kid a little bit too. When we feel like singing, we invite some friends. We'll have some fun and laugh a lot. Hope it never. I'm just kidding and he's just kidding is what we do. We're just kidding and they're just kidding, you kid a little bit too.